Lagoland.
Hey, what's up guys? Lago here. Today we're going to be looking at the Iconiq Studios 1/6 scale Ken Masters from Street Fighter V Champion Edition. Here's a look at the box. You can see this flame motif everywhere, as well as a lot of information back here about Ken, as well as places to contact Iconiq Studios, Instagram, Facebook, and the TB League body that's being used. It's a seamless body here. So this Ken figure is the second one to come out for the Street Fighter line, Iconiq Studios. Here's another look at the front. Beautiful artwork here. It has a nice plastic sleeve over it. I really like that. It makes the packaging experience feel a little bit more quality. Almost like a comic book with a clear sleeve over it. So I really like that. Once you open the box, there's some magnets in the back. And this box opens and becomes one of the stages from Street Fighter V for Ken. I really like that the thought that was put into this box is there. Like, using the box as a backdrop is really awesome, and it's quality. Like, it's really strong cardboard. And here you can see the detail there with the lightning and the grass. Nice background landscape going on there. And then the front of the box has this cardboard piece here with all the moves that Ken can do in the video game. Half circle punch, all that good stuff. The Hadouken, Shoryuken, everything you can think of. Then it gives you the credits of all the people that worked on this fantastic figure. You can take that off. You have some instructions. Just warning about the different poses you can do, as well as how to remove the hair, how to put the different feet and the different accessories. Lots of good stuff here. Says not to go too crazy with the posing, but we'll see about that. I like messing with my figures, so why not? And a bunch of warnings of what to do. Remember, this is a seamless body, so it's going to get a little bit crazy. Outside the box, this is what you see with Ken. You have a plastic tray with Ken and his hands that you can get with the figure. And I'm so excited to open this. I've been holding on to it for a while, waiting for the right day. So we'll see. Under that plastic tray, you have more of the accessories. Here are some of the accessories. We have the base, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, with the Ken imprint in the front. It's very similar to the Ryu base. We also have a really strong arm here, made out of strong wire so it can bend. Next up, we have a clear acrylic base, and this is to hold on to the accessories and flame effects. We also have two different pairs of feet. This is just to get Ken in some more dynamic posing. And let me tell you, it's a pain in the butt to put these on. So, you know, and that's one of the things. Putting these on with the Ryu were very difficult, and I'm sure they're difficult with these figures. Here we have the Shoryuken effect. Looks really nice. A little bit of transparency there. And you can apply this directly onto the hand. I'm trying to see if I can get some light on it to see if the hand's in there. Here we also have the kicking accessory for the Tatsumaki Senpuki Yaku, or the Hurricane Kick. And this accessory is one of the bigger accessories. It's actually really, really big, and it goes right on the foot. It's kind of heavy as well, so we'll see how that works out. But it is pretty impressive. Look at the size of it compared to the other accessory. So here we have Ken right out of the box. Nice 360 view. And you can see the cloth goods, the seamless body, the wired bandana, and all of the bright reds used for the gi. This is an impressive figure right away once you take it out of the packaging. Here's some close-ups so you can see the material used for the gi, as well as all the sculpture details. Stylistically, Ken is really similar to the Ryu They work well together. Iconiq Studios keeps to this style for these Street Fighter characters, and you can see it in the face sculpts, as well as everywhere else. So let's mess around with this figure. Right off the bat, there's some wires over here on the gi, so you have a little bit of, I guess, something to work with there. You also have wires at the belt, so you can move it in any position. They're strong wires, and they're not super heavy either. You have that wire going all the way down to here. Nothing over here. You also have the wire back here in this bandana piece. One thing that is kind of annoying is that the hair does come off very easily. There's a magnet there, but if you add a little bit of sticky tack, it stays on a little bit better. The arms go out about this much. You don't want to overdo it because of the seamless body, and you don't want to keep it in this position for too long. You do have some sort of a bicep swivel there. You have the elbow joint that's double jointed. You can push it a little bit further if you'd like, and it can twist. Everything feels very solid. We have the butterfly going out in about that much. Got to keep that hair on the whole time, as you can see. We have the hands that swivel. And remember, this has the metal body under all of this silicone body. Can go side to side about this much. Can look up about that much. And it can actually hunch quite a bit. So there are a lot of different possibilities with the articulation here. You can go side to side quite a bit. The neck articulation is some of the best with the Iconiq Studios seamless bodies. Remember, there's a TB League body made specifically for this figure. It can crunch about that much, which is great. But again, I want to warn, you do not want to keep it in a position like this when you have it on display. Can go back about that much. And remember, we have this silicone body here, and it's very squishy. It has its pros and its cons. One of the pros being that it's seamless, cons being that things get stuck to it quite a bit. And it also is heavy on the skeleton, so some articulation kind of bounces back. The only thing that I wish they would have changed that the Ryu had, the same issue, was the pants. They should have made it a little bit stretchier, because due to these pants, the seam in the middle not being, I mean, it's not elastic. It doesn't get quite a bit of kicking range. And this is Ken. He loves to kick. The Hurricane Kick is one of his greatest moves. So I wish they would have made this a little bit stretchier. At the double jointed knee, the ankle articulation is a little awkward. You have that big gap there when you're going for such a seamless body and have such a huge gap at the bottom. But they're a little bit stronger than the Ryu. The Ryu had very weak ankles back there. So this is their second figure. They're still learning. It is a masterpiece. The look of it, the articulation sometimes is hard to work with in this case. Is it a fun figure to mess around with? I don't know about that, but it's a beautiful figure, yes. I mean, just look at this head portrait. It looks realistic / exaggerated, and I really like the way that looks. I know Ken has been interpreted in many different ways. This is the Street Fighter V look for Ken, and I like what they did with it. It's not the Street Fighter, I think it was Street Fighter 4, which I wasn't a fan of, but this looks really cool. Also, the change of the hair is a nice little feature, so you can have the alpha look for Ken, and you also have the shorter hair for Street Fighter 2. I don't know which one I prefer. In person, the shorter hair looks much better than in video, and the bald version of Ken is not my favorite. And there you have the magnet there. But in person, the shorter hair looks nice, but so does the long hair. And this is the other face portrait it comes with. Very similar to the Ryu. It's okay. I think they would have benefited a little bit if they had rolling eyes, so you can move those eyes. He's always looking off to one side, which isn't my favorite. McFarlane vibes there. But there you have it with the shorter hair as well. Both look really good though. Now let's get to some posing. This is Ken in one of his signature poses with his hand out. You can see the elbow has been bent quite a bit. You can see the range of that double jointed elbow on his left side. You can also see the wires being used on the belt as well as the gi. Not only that, you also can see how the neck is bent down a little bit to give it a little bit of a hunch. You can get some great poses with this figure. It's just the kicking where it gets a little complicated. Here's a close-up of the regular fighting stance from Ken. Normally his fist would be a little bit closer to the chin or jaw area, but due to the range, we went with a little bit more of a natural look with what we got. And what's great about this is that elbow bent doesn't look unnatural. They did a really good job with the musculature, not making it look very gummy. So I think Iconiq Studios should get some points for that. I'm not sure if I would leave this posed like this for my display, just because I'm always worried with the seamless arms, bent so dramatically there, that you might run into some breakage. Again, I've never had this issue with any of my seamless figures, that everything's displayed in a weather-controlled environment. Here we have the hurricane kick with the flame effect, or energy effect in this case. The range of the leg can go a little bit farther, but due to the material of the body being so heavy, it kind of goes back into this stance. So you can get it deeper and higher, but it kind of like flexes back into this stance. Still pretty drastic pose. If you get it at the right angle, it looks really good. But if you look at it from far away, it almost looks like a soccer kick. Talking about angles, here we have Ryu and Ken battling it out. These are both Iconiq Studios figures. And just look at this. Look how great that looks. I would love for rolling eyes to make them look down at Ryu, but we work with what we have here. I really love the way this came out. The gi, the headband, everything kind of flaring up, all the wind energy from the kick pushing back, and Ryu down there. Fun stuff. Nice looking figure. Super detailed. Super awesome. I'm really happy with this Ken. One thing I do want to mention is that Ken's gi is a different material from Ryu. Ryu's feels a lot more washed and used. And I like that they added that detail with Ken's being a lot more clean. Even the fabric that they used is less, I guess, flexible. It's just more stiff with the Ken. It feels more new, while Ryu's feels a little bit more old and almost has those like little fabric balls in them of when you wash something too many times. I believe Ryu's also has some stains, while Ken's doesn't. So I like that you're getting that difference there. Here we have Ken in a much more relaxed pose, almost walking away, fixing up his equipment. You can see the tilt of the head as well as the bend of the elbow, and the fabric also being blown in the wind. It would have been nice if the ponytail had a little bit more articulation so that can move as well. But this is a really nice pose, and I feel like it really emphasizes Ken on his own, doing his thing, and his confidence in a way. So with these poses and these images, I'm trying to use as many of the accessories as possible. So you're going to see a lot of different hand options, and this is one of the coolest ones. It comes with 2 peace signs, and I really like the way this came out. And they have these big hands with the big feet, just the stylistic choices they made with this Street Fighter V Ken. And you have that peace sign hand, as well as the hand kind of holding off onto the belt. We also have a slight tilt of the head, kind of going down to the side a little bit, and the wires being used on the gi as well as the bandana tie thing. Now here's one of my favorite shots, favorite poses, and this is how I'm going to have them on my display, because we're not going dramatic at all. Not a lot of bent elbows, nothing like that. We have Ryu very intense, arm down with the fist bump, and Ken a little bit more confident with his hand touching his belt and giving the pound as well. Both have these really strong stares, and the wind is blowing in the same direction, so you can see that they're both interacting with another. Now let's get some Marvel vs. Capcom vibes here. Here we have Ken with Spider-Man. This is the classic suit from the video game. And I really like the way this came out as well. It'd be cool to have kind of like a Marvel vs. Capcom 1/6 line. Here we have a height comparison of Ken and Ryu. I thought they would be about the same size, but it looks like Ken's a bit taller. But all in all, I'm really happy with this Iconiq Studios Ken. Highly recommend it. I love having this in my collection to go with the Ryu. I can't wait to see Akuma, Chun-Li, and everything that Iconiq has coming up with. But thanks for watching and always visiting Lavoland. And until next time, peace out. Like, comment, subscribe. Hasta luego. Lavoland!